Good morning, everyone. HBO here. Today is the 2nd of January 2026. Welcome to a new year. I would say that. Do I have a word for those who listen to me this year? Yes, I have a few words for you. So let me paint it with maybe about 3 scenarios, right? You know, when God wanted to introduce himself to Abraham, at this point it was Abraham, right? The first thing he told him was, get yourself out of your father's house. In other words, change your location. Just move out of this place first. Get out of this. What God was saying is this: your location can actually affect how far you go in life. If your life is retarded or your life is progressive, your location will determine that. Yeah, there's a different situation here. You can be the light of the world and change that environment where you're at. But before you can change the environment where you're at, you have to get out first. What are you getting out to do? To go see how to make your own environment a better place. You listen to some Nigerians say over the time, they'll say, oh, but our politicians go abroad. They see how things work. So you've gone to see how things can work better. So when you come back, you change your environment. But first, get you out of your environment. So what am I saying? You need to change your environment if you are not progressing. 2, you need to change the way you think. I've listened to a few people and they say, oh, how can I, that's also, you can also bring it out from some of our scriptures, right? Oh, how can I be the one who speaks to Pharaoh, seeing that I cannot talk? You restricted and limited your own self by the way you think. You restricted yourself. Who says you need to know how to talk? God says, go and deliver a message. You say, I can't talk. You thought like that. That's 2. Your location, you're thinking. Number 3. You need to aim very high in this life. You need to aim very high. Your thinking can actually determine everything you will be in life. Everything. Your thinking helps you to aim higher than whichever way you've thought about before. I listen to some people and I wonder, how do you think like that? So imagine God sent 12 spies to go look at the promised land, and 10 out of those who came back from spying said, we're too small, we can't take it. They think themselves low, so they can't aim to take it. But 2, for God's sake, said, let's go. Yeah, we look like grasshoppers to them, but they are so big we can't miss them. Let's go take it. So if you want to aim, they say Iroko tree is the tallest tree in the world, right? If you want to aim for an Iroko tree, from the top of an Iroko tree, where do you aim for with an arrow? Coming from down. You find a position, right? So you can aim. Let's say you shoot well with an arrow. Where do you aim? How do you aim? Do you aim from the top or floor the top? Or you aim for, where do you aim for? If you need to aim for the top of a Iroko tree, this man says to you, and I've always said it, aim for the sun. This is a iroko tree. If you are from down and you're aiming for the top of the iroko tree, the probability of getting that there is so low, because your arrow may not have enough force to hit that top. You may actually hit anything from the top down. That's what you get. But if you aim for the sun, if you miss the top of the iroko tree, guess what you do? Your arrow will land on top of the iroko tree. Aim very high. If you're around people who think that you cannot, so imagine, I always use my example that, let's say you have ₦1 million and you want to do a business. At the point where you have that ₦1 million, your thinking determines if the turnover you're aiming for is for the same ₦1 million or 10 million naira or 100 or 1 billion or 1 trillion. Your thinking determines how far you can think. That's why some people have money to start a business. Some go for pure water, which fetches them I don't know what. Some go for loaf of bread, fetches them something. But some go for the sale of gold. So no, I'd rather go for gold. If I don't have enough at 1 million, you're still starting from the same place. Some aim for gold. Think about it. So how you think really matters. If you think low of yourself, you may not be able to go very far. Don't blame that on anybody. It was you who thought about yourself the way that you are. Aim very high. Think better. Change your location. Location can be friends, and anyone with a location can be friends. Have a beautiful year. God bless you.